realized that I have been so overwhelmed with working and homeschool life, which I never wanted, and all the things that I have not made a video of a technique lately, and I really want to give you something to help you guys. So today I wanted to teach you the anger thermometer really quick. As you can tell, this is quarantine life, and if you know me and you've seen me talk before, you know that I am real 100% of the time. What you see is what you get. I'm always going to be me. I'm never going to pretend to be someone else. So this is what quarantine looks like. Actually, this looks pretty good. So today I want to teach you a quick technique, and that's going to be the anger thermometer. This is to help build off the anger sandwich. If you have not done an anger sandwich, real quick, I want to show you. Here's my book, Alice and the Anger Sandwich. You can get it on Amazon for $12.99 and order that, and then you can make an anger sandwich with your kids. And that's super helpful in helping them identify the primary emotion. But today I want to teach you the anger thermometer, and the anger thermometer is teaching levels of anger. There's a lot of different kids who struggle with anger and have never stopped to think that it's okay to be angry, and B, there's levels. So we don't always have to go from 0 to 100 really fast, and that's the same for adults too. So I drew an anger thermometer for us today to look at, and I'm also going to provide a clean version for you. But here's a quick anger thermometer to review real quick. So we have number 1, that's good to go. We have 2, this is when we're annoyed. This is kind of like an eye roll moment, or just irritated, not big deal. This is angry. Number 3 is like anger. This is okay. And then I call this the danger zone when we get to 4 and 5. Elevated is what I consider verbal, when we're screaming, when we're saying things about, they hate us as parents or we're terrible. 5 is out of control. This is slamming of doors. This is the throwing of toys, hitting self, whatever. We should never get past level 4. Like we shouldn't, or never get past level 3. So this is the danger zone. I often draw this, and then I usually add a little hint like this for kids. And I'll say, we should not pass this. So the important thing about the anger thermometer is it teaches them that anger is okay, because anger is okay. We all have to know that. Anger stems from a primary place, which is really important for us to notice and learn. And so that's why it's really important to know what our primary emotions are. So I highly suggest starting off with Alice and the Anger Sandwich. And even if you don't buy the book, you can get the PDF and read. I also have a video, if you scroll down and watch the Anger Sandwich, that you can learn about it. So with what I do is I create this thermometer with the children. I explain it to them. I tell them about each stage, and then we discuss different events that have happened lately. So maybe an event is, okay, you're really, really happy. Then your sister walked into the room and she messed up the Legos you were playing with. Where do you think that should fall on here? And then the kid might say, oh, well, I don't know. It's like, well, remember the other day when that happened, you shot up to a 5 and you started throwing Legos at sister. Now, when we look at that, do we feel like that's the right level of anger? Do we feel, how could we have handled that? Definitely that's frustrating. Definitely that's annoying. You have every right to be angry. But do we think we should have escalated to a 5? No, we probably at a 3. I think a 3 would have been a good. And I go through this multiple times with them, come up with multiple techniques. I also always highlight on what is easier to calm down from. If you're at a 5, is it easier to get from a 5 to a 1 or a 2 to a 1? If we can stop ourselves at this 2 and 3, then it's going to be a lot easier to de-escalate than if we're at a 5. Because if we're at a 5 and we take deep breaths, I always say it's take deep breaths, count to 10, all that, down, 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 down. So we want to try and stop at a 3. So after I've reviewed several different things with them, and they get used to different scenarios with them, then I put this somewhere, and then I use this as an anchor chart to refer back to. So, hey, like you're so frustrated right now. Remember, I always say, notice the primary emotion. Try and highlight the primary. I try and avoid anger. You seem really frustrated, you seem really annoyed, you seem guilty, you seem tired, disappointed, embarrassed, whatever it is. Where should we stop? So then the last thing I do with this, and I always, like I said, bring it back as an anchor chart for them to look at. And so they know it's just a reminder that they really should never have to get to 4 and 5 because those are miserable places to be. So the last thing I add to the anger chart or to the anger thermometer is these tiny little lines I'm going to throw on here real quick. And these are like supposed to be representative of coping skills. And they're obviously not perfect because every child is different, but it's just supposed to give a good scenario or a good realistic view. Is so I added these little lines right here, and this is what I tell kids. So when they say, oh, Miss Katie, deep breathing doesn't work, taking, counting to 10 doesn't work, I say it does, but you have to do it repetitively over and over. So if we're at a 5, right, I'm going to take 10 deep breaths, then I'm going to come down a notch. Then I'm going to count to 10. Then I'm going to go for a walk. Then I'm going to do chicken fingers, lemon squeezes, count to 10, go for a walk. So we see how tiny we're moving. So we might have done 5 minutes worth of coping skills and we're still in the level 5. So I show this to kids and I really explain it to them so that way they think, oh, so my deep breaths are helping. I just might not notice that. And also if we're at a 3, it's more of, let's take 10 deep breaths, count to 5. Lemon squeezes, chicken fingers. They can visually see how much easier that is. The last thing I do for younger kids is if they have a hard time understanding this, I will draw boxes out to the side and take whatever their favorite, I can't think of like thing is, whether they're into superheroes or Pokemon or princesses, Disney princesses, I don't know. But I will have us label and color each level. So like if this is Batman, and when you're doing good and thriving, you're a Batman, but when you're a 5, you're the Joker. I might be like, oh, you're getting up to closer to a Joker. Are we sure that's where we want to be? How do we get back down to a Batman? And so that makes it a little bit more tangible for younger kids. Not all kids necessarily need that, but some need something more concrete that they can understand. Because, if they're really into Batman and they don't like the Joker, then they're not going to want to be a Joker. So whatever, or if they're into Disney princesses, maybe they don't want to be Maleficent or the Evil Queen or whatever, but they really want to be Aurora, whatever that is. So here's the anger thermometer. I hope it's very beneficial to y'all. If you look on my page and you look at menu, I know that's really weird, but it's the only place you can put it. If you look at menu on my page, there's actually a PDF where you can print this out, and there is the anger sandwich there. There's the anger menu there, which I'm going to be doing later on, and then a few other things that we're going to be highlighting. But if you want the PDF of this, it's just a blank thing, and you can add all the extra ones to it. Anyways, I hope that really helps you guys out. I hope that you are staying safe and entertained and you are loving those babies during this time. Make sure you are taking care of you. It is so important during this time that you take time to breathe and do self-care. So I hope you guys have a great Friday and enjoy your Easter weekend.